Everything that comes out of you is the goddess. Every movement, every sensation is a reflection of the divine feminine energy that exists within you. Today, we are speaking about embodying the goddess, a journey back to self-love, sensuality, and sacredness. My name is Jessica Angeleri, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome. This is your portal, your space where we truly restore the love and fierceness and the grace and truth of the feminine. So, as I was saying, everything that moves through you is the goddess. She is this force of life. And she moves through us in our desires and the tingles that we feel when we connect with others. You know, that resonance that you might feel when you meet another sister, or you feel like, oh my God, her story really resonates with me. This is how she speaks to you. And she speaks to you in ways of love, and even in the way that you feel pleasure in the simple things like seeing a sunset or seeing a hummingbird or a beautiful flower. This is what the goddess is about. This is how she speaks to you. And she is you. She is part of you. And she calls us to return to her, to restore her energy back onto this earth. Because for a lot of us, she is separate from us. She's disconnected from us. And someone recently asked me, how do I know this stuff? Like, where did I know this? What books did I read? What courses did I take? The truth is, the goddess can't really be learned from external sources. Yes, sitting in circles, sacred circles with women and listening to spiritual teachings definitely can guide us, and they can really awaken the truth within us. But she's not something that you learn as a way to comprehend her at the mind level. She's something you feel, something you experience. She is a scent, a taste, an indescribable force that moves through your entire being. So the goddess is the essence of being, a memory, an ancient memory waiting for you to wake up to and to connect with deep from within, that only you can restore and only you can return to. Of course, we can be supported and guided in this process. Now, she is this delicious nectar that I love to say that flows through your body, like attracting the bees to your own scent, to your own nectar. That is magnetic. That's that force that I'm speaking about. And she's this cosmic experience of pleasure and sex and being in the sweetness of life, experiencing life. It can be experienced just with you biting an apple or a strawberry and tasting that deliciousness, that sweetness. She's in the moments of connection with yourself and with your loved ones, in the simplicity of being in everyday life, and it happens in the present moment. So the goddess is not something that you do or to strive for or achieve. Instead, she's an embodiment of you that asks you to embrace your emotions, your shadows, and your light with grace and with power and with a sense of presence. And that's where the masculine, the God consciousness comes into it. So the journey back to the goddess is not, it's not even woo-woo work. It's not some fluffy thing that we do. And it's not something new either. This is ancient. But we have to come into this remembrance through the soul. The goddess is the full expression of your soul. Remember that little girl inside of you, the one who listened intently. She was present. She created. She danced. She was singing. She was so connected with the earth, intimately connected with the goddess, until the layers of conditioning started to cloud our perception of her, or started to very quickly make us forget that we are her. We are not separate from her. And over time, we became distanced from our true selves, losing sight of the sacred feminine that lives within us. And one of the most potent places where we feel the presence of the goddess is during an orgasm, because she lives so alive within your yoni, which is your sacred center, your altar of life and creation. And when your yoni is worshipped, when you start to develop a relationship with her and she's activated, it becomes a sanctuary of magic. Every time you honor the pain your yoni has carried in this lifetime, past lifetimes, the shame that you've held onto, or the guilt surrounding receiving or around pleasure, you awaken to the whispers, to the magic of the goddess within you. And when you allow yourself to fully experience the depths of pleasure, to feel it without shame, without guilt, you strengthen your connection to the goddess. She doesn't work in isolation either. So she thrives when you deepen into your own self-worth and self-love and nourishment, when you know how to nourish your own nervous system. Without this foundation that I call it, we find ourselves in superficial practices, like claiming that we're doing goddess work without truly embodying the divine feminine that embodies all darkness as well. And I see a lot of this out there about doing goddess work, goddess yoga, goddess dance, but really the work is an internal journey back inward. And you'll see that I love to offer goddess dances and sensual movements that honor the goddess and to help us reconnect with the goddess. And that's what it is. It's a way to help us reconnect with. It's not a prescribed practice to perform and be more like a goddess, right? This is about realignment with the sacred essence of who you really are. And that happens when you drop out of the mind and you get real about your own shadows, your shame, your numbness, the fears, the stories maybe you're still carrying on to, the hurt, the pain. And by bringing them to the light, you can finally access the consciousness that has been waiting to be known to you. It's not just about doing a ritual and following the steps to feel like a goddess, 3 steps or 3 tips to be more like a goddess. This is about creating that foundation for yourself, the space where you give yourself permission to feel your own worthiness and your inherent enoughness by allowing yourself to experience these deep emotions without picking them apart or trying to fix them. And when you do that, you allow for new, fresh energy to emerge. I believe that at some point in every woman's life, it doesn't matter how old you are, there is a calling, a knowing that there is more to life than mundane. And we stop searching, we stop seeking and needing that pleasurable moment. We find it in everyday tasks and responsibilities. There is a magic here, there is beauty, and there is a deeper purpose that we're all here for. This is the awakening of the goddess within, an invitation to step into a multifaceted reality where everything is sacred. And this is the work that I do with women, which revolves around reconnecting with their erotic essence, this aliveness, this pleasure. Because in a world that leaves us numb and exhausted and disconnected and making us feel separate from who we truly are and our own wisdom, this is needed, this work. And there's also no end to exploring this energy. And that's the beauty of this. The sensual goddess, the divine feminine, she gushes through you with creativity and life force, and it is always present, waiting to be acknowledged within you. As women, we have a responsibility to awaken to this energy within ourselves. Our bodies are sacred vessels, And it is so capable of receiving and transmitting this divine energy. This is the goddess. This is what it means to express the goddess through our body, to experience the aliveness of all things. She is what creates. We cannot create our life. We cannot go into relationships. I mean, we can, but what kind of relationships or life are we creating when there is numbness or contraction, when we're continuously blocked and doubting ourselves and not knowing our worth? So we have to realize this aliveness within us and that we are, and she is the creator of all. This is where women have a particular responsibility to know that our physical vessels are always receiving. We are always receiving in our body, and we have this responsibility to awaken to this aliveness and to all the messages that we are always receiving within the body and around us. So for me, the goddess is felt through the body, not through intellect understanding. I've studied many modalities, but my deepest healing and awakening came through my lived experience, through my body, and also always continuously staying in this curiosity and questioning values and what is true for me. Because for a very long time, for most of my life, I was distanced from my body and from my needs, from my true essence. And my own awakening, my spiritual awakening, occurred when I also stopped holding on to all of that and I surrendered. I just had to surrender to the pain that I had been carrying for so long. It's like I put my arms back, I fell backwards, basically. Because I used to rely on the external to help me return back. And that put a lot of pressure on my relationships as well. Through that, I found myself leaking and I pretty much self-neglected. And I realized how much I went away when I traveled. I was doing things and I really became addicted to this escape, actually. But the depth of my healing and surrender and my ability to experience full body pleasure and aliveness really occurred when I fully surrendered and built that inner sanctuary for myself to be this loving, compassionate mother for myself, offering love to myself, to the little girl inside of me who really wanted to be seen and held. And I learned to surrender to all of that. And that was the beginning of my journey of self-love and healing and realizing where I was self-abandoning. And it was through this surrender to the pain that I discovered the light within, this glimpse of hope, this moment of, I can do this. I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I am love, and I am loved. Have you ever experienced that before, where you had a dark moment and you really heard that glimpse of hope? You felt it. There was a subtle whisper. Let me know in the comments if that is true for you. And for me now, I hear this whisper much louder. It's more of like, yeah, a deep knowing. But before that, I was in so much pain and I was carrying so much of generational trauma and layers that it was really hard to hear this through the darkness. There was a tiny light, which I remembered hearing, you've got this, you're beautiful, you can do this. And this is the truth that emerges. And at first, it might sound really strange as well, but with time, with practice, you learn to realize that this is the sanctuary within you that you have to return to and build within yourself. And this is the goddess. She's that loving presence, the aliveness that moves through you. It's not always about feeling great and love and light. She's this gentle, nurturing presence. She's fierce and she's here to cut through the illusions, the bullshit, and tell you, seriously, look in the mirror. You are a goddamn goddess. So the feminine force is raw, real, unapologetic in her truth, and she moves through us in moments of stillness and in moments of intensity, in the aliveness of feeling the emotions. When we open ourselves to receive the life force of the divine and we surrender into this embodiment of love, we remember over and over again that we are this love and we have the power within us to come into healing this and alchemizing this pain and anger into pleasure and joy. And the goddess holds that space for us to really surrender to the emotions, even the ones that feel too dark or painful or hard to face. When you do, though, you open the door to healing and you allow love to enter, to move through the parts of you that have been cast aside. So this isn't about striving for perfection or to be a good woman. The goddess encompasses all. She's both light and shadow, joy and sorrow, creator, destroyer. So when you allow yourself to experience the full range of emotions within you without judgment, without trying to fix or change them, you enter a deeper relationship with the divine feminine. You trust her, you listen to this energy, you allow her to move through you, and you allow love to enter. Love will enter. When you allow yourself to go there, the goddess love moves through you as you lean back and be still and conscious, which is that masculine. So for me, I had to go through times where I had to surrender to all those times that I gave my body away and stop feeling shame around that. I went through a path where I did give my body away because I was going through a time in my life, a phase where I thought, well, I'm independent, I don't need a man, and I'm sexually empowered, and I'm going to prove that I am sexually empowered. And so when I reflect on this, yeah, I wasn't honoring myself. There was a deep space within me where I was seeking love. And now I know why I had to go through that path. And it's because I'm now here to hold the light forward for women to explore their own worthiness and their own sexual priestess self from a place of sovereignty and the feminine and love, and not from the old ideas that sex is performative. So whatever is going on in your body, when you are attuned to the energies and you're surrendered to whatever energy or emotion needs to show up for you, whether it's an energy of hurt or emotions or energy of divine love, presence, we can come to truly accept what's there through our own surrender of what is present. There might be resistance at first, but the resistance to these energies as well is how we hold on to pain. It creates more pain. It creates more resentment, more frustration, more burnout. And this is also not easy. I know. I'm not going to sit here and just say, surrender to your body, surrender to your emotions. It's not easy. If you haven't practiced this, we haven't been shown how to do this. There's so much that we women have gone through, but it doesn't have to be hard anymore. If I can do it, as this girl who was so shy, so anxious, attracting really toxic relationships in my life, if I can do it, you can too. Don't give up. So yes, I can talk about sensuality and sexuality all day, but all of this really stems your sexual sovereignty, body sovereignty, your self-love. It all stems from yourself, learning how to have the capacity to hold yourself in all emotions. This is a lifelong practice. There's always new levels of pain that arises, but it's up to us to hold our own ground, deep in our root, return to our feminine sacred ground. And that's how you develop the capacity to be a witness of pain and feel it. And at the same time, know that there is joy and ecstasy available to you. All is welcome. All is divine. All of you is love. You are whole. You are the magic. You are delicious. There is no one like you, no one with your voice, no one with your face, your expression. And this is the goddess. We can't keep her in hiding. The goddess that is the divine creator who doesn't create anything alike. I mean, have you ever seen flowers that look exactly the same? If it is, it's not natural and it's created, man-made, right? It's contained. But we're not here to be contained anymore. We're here to experience all, even our mess. So, and if you ever forget, look around and look around at this divine creation. You are part of that collection. You are a gorgeous creation on this earth. And I am here to help you remember that as well. So when we allow ourselves to look at the shame and how we've been holding our body, how we've been holding our own or expressing our own sexuality, we can start to learn more about ourselves. We can start to come more in love with our body. And we start to reclaim this wild woman who's not here to dim her light, who's not here to conform to society's standards of beauty and sex and how a woman needs to be. And this is why I believe reconnecting with your sexuality, it really is a potent pathway to reconnect with the goddess, because you start to really fully immerse yourself in this experience of your own erotic expression that leads you more to the woman that you are. The goddess is the door opener of everything in your life into finding sacredness of power and finding love for your body, knowing your voice, sacredness of your body, your sensuality. It's everything. And that's why I connect sexuality and the goddess together. Honestly, when we really connect with our sexuality and our yoni and our womb, this is where this opening happens. She will reveal to you more about you than you can imagine. Your sex is more than just sex. It reveals to you more of your own gorgeous, unique fragrance in this world. But this isn't going to happen when you're not grounded in your body. So it's so important to develop that sanctuary within yourself to fully know love for yourself. Otherwise, we stay small. We're worried about how does my belly look? How does my body look? How do I sound? That's not how the goddess wants you to experience life, because the goddess experiences it all, the juice of it all. She's here to experience the divinity of what is true for you in any given moment and all of your desires and why you're here. This is what I stand for. To wake up to this. And when you surrender to your pleasure in the most simple, graceful ways, when you honor the wisdom of your body and the desires that flow through you and you don't push them away, you become the vessel. You open the vessel for the goddess to move through you. And you start to attune to more love. You bring more love into your life. This is about reclaiming your sovereignty, your power, and your sensuality in a way that feels authentic for you. And these are the gifts of the goddess that was given to you for a reason, not to just sit there. Your pleasure is not just to sit there. It's there to experience, how is the goddess wanting me to experience life in this present moment without losing my center? And this is how the goddess desires for you to bring healing on this earth. And when it happens, when we learn to tune into her, to tune into your own unique blueprint that the goddess created just for you with your own purpose to bring more beauty and love and peace and joy into this world. She's the divine feminine embodied in your form, and she requires your devotion, your commitment to self-love, and your willingness to embrace all of who you are. Just remember that. You are a beautiful divine creation. There is no one like you in this world. You are the goddess. Embrace her, honor her, let her guide you back to yourself. And of course, if you need guidance in this is what I'm here for. Remember, I have all of my beautiful programs and offerings, which this is what this is about, the pathway to fully embody and remember that the goddess is you. You are a holy damn goddess. So check out all of my beautiful offerings. I have Feminine Remembrance, the 10-week temple, where we are held and supported and moving through this beautiful temple of the goddess to experience her in all ways, through the body, through the yoni, through the breast, through the heart. And then I have my self-paced course as well, which you can do, Embody the Sacred Feminine, which is filled with beautiful feminine rituals to help you get started in this beautiful, loving, pleasurable journey. And I also have my 7-day free program, Erotic Feminine Embodiment, which also has some embodiment practices there to help you get started that you can start tuning into to become more attuned to your own love and your own sense of self and worth. I've got so many beautiful offerings for you. I'll drop those links below. And let me know if you loved this video. Please like it if you did love it. All of your likes and comments really help me to continue being seen on this platform and to continue sharing this wisdom with other women. So thank you so much for being here, gorgeous. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And I can't wait to see you again. I'm so deeply grateful for you, so grateful for your love, so grateful for your presence here. My name is Jessica Angeleri. Remember, you are the goddess. Thank you, gorgeous. Bye.